Explore your city and county. Here's just some of the interesting folks buried in Richmond Cemetery. Walter Stone Tevis was an American novelist and short story writer. 3 of his 6 novels were adapted into major films: The Hustler, The Color of Money, and The Man Who Fell to Earth. His books have been translated into at least 18 languages. He spent his last years in New York City as a full-time writer. He died there of lung cancer in 1984, and he's buried right here in Richmond, Kentucky. Earl Brian Combs was an American professional baseball player who played his entire career for the New York Yankees. Combs batted leadoff and played center field on the Yankees' fabled 1927 team, often referred to as Murderer's Row. After retiring from baseball in 1954, Combs returned to his 400-acre farm in Madison County, and he also served as Kentucky's state banking commissioner during Governor Happy Chandler's second administration. After a long illness, he died on July 21st, 1976, right here in Richmond, Kentucky, and he's buried at the Richmond Cemetery. Keene Johnson. Governor Keene Johnson was born in a 2-room cabin in Brandon's Chapel in Lyon County in an area that is now part of the land between the lakes. He was also the son of a Methodist circuit rider. In 1925, he became a partner in the purchase of the Richmond Daily Register, and with that purchase, Johnson became the paper's editor and publisher. He continued to publish the Register until he ran for Kentucky governor in 1939. Keene Johnson was honored with the naming of the Keene Johnson Building on the campus of Eastern Kentucky University. He died on February the 7th, 1970, and he's buried right here in Richmond Cemetery. Cassius Marcellus Clay was born in 1810 to Green Clay, one of the wealthiest planters and slaveholders in Kentucky, and also became a prominent politician. Cassius also had a famous cousin down the road called Henry Clay in Lexington. Cassius Clay was a pioneer as an early Southern planter who became a prominent anti-slavery crusader. And in 1845, Clay began publishing an anti-slavery newspaper, The True American, in Lexington, Kentucky. And within a month, he received death threats and had to arm himself and regularly barricaded the armored doors of his newspaper office for protection. In 1853, Clay granted 10 acres of his expansive lands to John G. Fee, an abolitionist who founded the town of Berea and also known as the founder of Berea College, and opened it to all races. Clay also had a reputation as a rebel and a fighter. Due to threats on his life, he had become accustomed to carrying 2 pistols and a knife for protection. He also installed a cannon to protect his home and his office at Whitehall. Cassius Clay died at his home on July 22, 1903. And it was described as general exhaustion. Buried right here in Richmond Cemetery. For more information and more history, visit richmondkytourism.com to find out more.